Hi class, how are you today? Was that a compliment within a compliment? Thank you, I guess. The learning target for today is to be able to simplify fractions within fractions. For the scale, you're a 3 if you can simplify fractions within fractions. You're a 2 if you can simplify fractions within fractions with only monomials, so no binomials or anything else. You're a 1 if you can simplify fractions within fractions with no variables, only numbers. And you're a 0 if you cannot simplify fractions within fractions at all. Let's get started. So for all of these, we're going to try to simplify these fractions within fractions. So on this first one, you can see we have 8/5 over 6/5. So remember, fractions are just dividing. And so what we're doing is we're dividing a fraction by a fraction. And whenever you divide fractions, that's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So we can rewrite this as 8/5 times 5/6. So we turn it into multiplication and we flip the second fraction. So now we can cancel out the 5s from cross division, cross reducing, cross canceling. And then the 8 and the 6, those can reduce. 8 over 6 would reduce to 4 over 3. So we turn the 8 into a 4 and the 6 into a 3. And so now what we're left with is 4/3. All right, on this next one, first we're going to have to deal with what's going on in the denominator. So in the denominator, we have 3/4 minus 3/2. So the common denominator here can be 4, because 4 times 1 is 4 and 2 times 2 is 4. So we can multiply the 2 by 2 to get 4, and so what we do to the bottom we have to do to the top within just that fraction. And so now we have 4 over 3/4 minus 6/4, because 3 times 2 is 6 and 2 times 2 is 4. So now we have 4 over, and 3/4 minus 6/4 is negative 3/4. And now we can rewrite that, and we can say 4 times negative 4/3. And if it helps, any number that's not a fraction can be written as just 4 over 1. Or any number that's not a fraction can just be written as that number over 1. So in this case, 4 over 1. And then we multiply. And that'll give us negative 16/3. Remember, we can't have the negative in the denominator, so it either has to be in the numerator or just in front of the fraction like I have it here. And that's our answer. All right, next, what we have going on here is now we have variables. Otherwise, it's the same thing we were just dealing with. So we need a common denominator on the top. The bottom is just 6/8, so on the top, we need a common denominator. Well, we've got 9 and we've got 4, so none of those have any common factors. The best we can do is 9 times 4, which is 36. So we multiply the 9 times 4, and the same to the top, and the 4 times 9, and the same to the top. So now that's going to be 4x squared over 36 plus 9 over 36 over 6x. And so now we can combine those as best we can. And so now that's going to be 4x squared plus 9 over 36 over 6x. And now we multiply by the reciprocal. So that'll give us 4x squared plus 9 over 36 times 1 over 6x. I'm going to move that down bottom now, just for some more room. So now that's going to give us 4x squared plus 9, because it's times 1, so anything times 1 is itself, and 36 times 6x is 216x. And since there are no common factors out of 4 or 9, that's as simplified as we can get this. For this next one, we're going to have to do common denominators on the top and the bottom. So, on top, common denominator can be 12, because all we have to do is multiply 4 times 3. So we multiply x plus 1 times 3, making sure to multiply the entire numerator. So we're going to have to put parentheses around that. And then on the bottom, the common denominator can be 36, because all you have to do is multiply 18 times 2. And so I do that to the top as well. So that will give me now 25 over 12 plus 3x plus 3 over 12 over 2 over 36 minus x plus 1 over 36. Combine like terms as best we can. So that will give us 3x plus 28 over 12 over negative x plus 1 over 36. And now that we have two fractions, we can multiply by the reciprocal. So we have 3x plus 28 over 12 times 36 over negative x plus 1. And so the 36 and the 12 we can do some stuff with. So 36 over 12, 36 divided by 12 is 3. So the 12 can just go away. 36 becomes a 3. And the 3x plus 28 and the negative x plus 1 won't be able to reduce at all. You can't factor anything out other than a negative 1. And so we're just going to have to multiply. So 9x plus 84 over negative x plus 1. And there's a couple other ways you could rewrite this. You could factor the negative 1 out and bring it up to the top and give negative 9x minus 84 over x minus 1. That would also work. I would accept either of these answers, but one of those is your answer. All right, now time for the sponge. On number 1, we have 4/5 divided by 2/25 minus 5/16. And on number 2, we have 1/2 minus x plus 5 over 4 over x squared over 2 minus 5 over 2. That's it for this lesson. Once again, please make sure to take notes on the entire lesson, take a picture of everything, including the sponge, submit it all to Doodle Classroom, and have a good night.